Good evening, Professor. I'm Edgar Gaitan, and tonight I will share with you my podcast. The topic of my podcast will be the interpersonal skills and body language when communicating. Well, I'm really into this topic. I really like to study how to communicate effectively, and I really like how people works when it comes to communicate. Each person is different, but at the same time, we have lots of similarities, and that really catches my attention because depending on how we express something or on the like our body language, depending on how are we standing or looking at at the persons, the result of the conversation is totally different. So we can send the same message, but if we communicate it differently, the result is totally different. It could be like a very good ending or a bad ending, depending on our communicational and interpersonal skills. So I'm really interested in this topic. Here we can see uh, a couple of people, two men communicating, and we can see that they are both involved in the conversation in a really good way. Why? Because here we have the talker, the person who the speaker, sorry, the speaker, the person who's sending the message. We can see that he is looking directly into the eyes of the receiver of the message, and also he has a very good position of hands. He is open and he's positioning his hands like he has something to share, like he's sharing, and that's very good. And since I have studied, not a lot, but I've studied it, I know that being open, it's very important for us to communicate effectively. And here we can see that the receiver of the message is somewhat closed, but at the same time, he is following the other person with his eyes, and he is like in a position which we can see that he's into the conversation. He's not at all like disconnected. He's really into what the other person is saying, and maybe the reason is because this person here has great communication skills. Now here we can see a different situation. Here we can see Donald Trump with Vladimir Putin. They are both presidents, they are both men with power, and for sure they are both men with great and huge ego. So here we can see Donald Trump trying to give his hand to Vladimir Putin, and for sure, Vladimir Putin he shook his hand with Donald Trump, but in his face we can see that he isn't like happy on doing it. He is like doubting, and we also can see here in his lips, sorry, that he kind of disapproves what he's gonna do because he doesn't like at all Donald Trump. That's obvious when we see his eyes, his lips, and his posture in which he is like closed. This is a situation in which the receiver of the message, in this case, the message is the shake of hands, the handshake. He is close to it and he disapproves it. We can notice we can notice it by checking his eyes and his lips. Now here we can see the posture of people. This is also very important when we are communicating. A close posture, it can indicate hostility, unfriendliness, and anxiety. This, these things are they are bad when we are communicating something, but in this side we can see an open posture that may indicate friendliness, openness, and willingness. That's important for us when we are communicating. We should be friendly, we should be open, and also we have to have the willingness of communicate effectively and to take our conversation to a good point, to a good ending. So being open, it's very important for us when we are trying to send a message or communicate something. So here we can see it. It's obvious that here with an open posture, we have better chances to like convince someone else if we want to do it, or just communicate effectively. Now here we can see a man giving a speech to a lot of people. He has an open posture, and this is very important. I wanted to show this slide at the end because here we can see an open posture when we are communicating to a lot of people here. And it's very important to always be open when we are communicating for people to notice that we are a person in which they can trust when they want to say something, because communication cannot be just from one side, it has to be from both sides. So it's important for our public or our receivers that we look very open to receive their information. And well, this topic, I love it. I'm really into communication, and these communication skills really caught my attention. So I wanted to share my knowledge and give some examples of it. Thank you so much for listening. And that was my podcast.